My name is Eric Michael and I've sold over $5 million in sports cards, and I make these videos to help you make money from sports cards because it changed my life and I know it can change yours for a fact. I've changed thousands of people's lives doing this stuff, and in this video, as you can see behind me, I'm going to show you how to use data to determine if a card is going to go up in value, which means we can make money. So let me talk about a few things and just how sports cards works, because it's important you understand how it works before I start diving into this graph and everything and what it means. Let me take Victor Wembanyama for an example. He's actually an example I'm going to use here in a second. His best cards, his Prism cards, those are like his best cards, came out in February. And every single time what happens when a new card comes out is they start up here, people get really excited, they sell for sky high, and they slowly crash, right? They crash, they level out, and then if you could buy it when it first starts to level out, it'll come back up and you can make money. But so many people get caught buying these cards because they're so excited, they're new, they're fresh, they just came out, and they crash every single time. It's been like this since I first started buying and selling sports cards in 2015. When a new product comes out, a new player gets released in a product, it starts sky high and it comes crashing down. Why? Because there's a lot of newbies in the hobby, right? They just want to buy Victor Wembanyama or buy whoever the player is, and because of that, it increases the price. And then eventually, right, excitement doesn't last forever, and it dies. However, I'm going to show you in this video how to take advantage of this. And also, it's important to note the way the buying cycles work in sports cards. So, right, we have three main sports: football, basketball, baseball. I'm speaking right now in July. Football is getting kind of hot, but basketball is down here. If you could buy basketball while it's down here and sell it right before the season while it's up here, you can make a lot of money. Now, you want to sell these cards usually before the season because not every player, but most players don't maintain the value they are before the season during the season because there's a lot of hype and excitement, and it's very rare players are able to live up to that. It's just how sports goes. It's just how sports cards go. Baseball is honestly the worst of it because baseball, there's all these 18, 19-year-old prospects that sell for up here and then they come crashing down because they can't hit MLB pitching, and it's just way different than college baseball. I'm going to use this example right here behind me to show you how to spot this stuff using an app called Market Movers. Market Movers is a phenomenal app. It basically shows you data, trends, graphs, sales of sports cards as a whole. And there's charts on here just like this where you can spot these trends. So let's take a look at our first example here. So our first example here, if you guys can look, is right here, Mr. Keyonte George. Keyonte George is a point guard for the Utah Jazz, and his Silver Prism PSA 10 is like one of his basic, very common, very sold cards. And check this out. Check this out right here. So as you can see, this stuff came out in February. And if you look here, this card was selling for right around $130 when it first came out. And look what happens. Whee, whip, it crashes, right? And this happens with every single card. Now, what you want to look for with these cards is when does it start to flatline? What I mean by flatline is when does it start to level out and there's some consistent sales? Well, look right here, right? It's starting to flatline. When you see a card start to flatline, it means the excitement, the hype has died, it's leveled out, and it's safe to buy. And as long as it's flatlining and there's still the same velocity of sales, there's actually more sales. All these little data points are sales. There's actually more sales when it flatlined than when it came crashing down. So I guess not as many people lost a lot of money. But what this tells me right here is let's go in and buy it. Because when is this? This is April, May, a little bit of June. And Keyonte George is a player who's probably going to have a lot of hype and excitement. He's young. Utah's a young, exciting team. And if you buy it here, right here, it's selling for right around $60 to $70. And guess what? Now, I missed it. I didn't buy him, to be honest with you. But now look what happens. It starts to trend upwards, right? So if you take a look in the past 60 days here, right, before that graph was going down. But now, look, we are trending upwards, right? And like I said, if you bought this card when it first started to flatline right around here, $60, well, look what it sells for now, right? It's selling for right around here, like $80 to $90. Buy for 60, sell for 80 or 90, and it's probably gonna continue going this way, right? That's how to make predictable money in sports cards. Now you could add layers on top, like buy his stuff down here cheap and get it graded while it's appreciating, and then you'll make a real crap ton of money. But this is one example of Keontae George. I missed the boat on him. I'm just showing you a previous example because it's a good example. But let's hop over to another one, Mr. Victor Wembanyama. If you're enjoying the content of the video and want to learn how to make a side income with sports cards, I spent the past 3 months putting together a training to show you exactly how it's done in detail. Sports cards has allowed me to live a life beyond my wildest imagination, and I'm thankful for the hobby every single day. That is the reason I teach sports cards, and I'm so passionate about it. At the end of the training, we offer a paid program where you can work closer with me. However, I do not want you joining until you've watched the training I put together. It will show you exactly what's inside the program and how to make money with sports cards, and from there, you can make an educated decision. If you'd like to sign up for the training, either scan the QR code on the screen or text the word Eric to 973-755-9486, or click the link in the description. Just to repeat it, if you'd like to sign up and watch the training, scan the QR code or text Eric to 973-755-9486, or click that link in the description. Now let's get back to the video. All right, so what you're looking at here behind me is the graph of Victor Wembanyama's Silver Prism PSA 10, the same card of Keontae George, but Victor Wembanyama. Same thing. Now, Victor Wembanyama, this was bad because he was such an exciting player. Look what this card is selling for when it first came out, right around $2,400, right? And look how, I mean, this thing just came crashing down. Look, it came all the way down to right here, $800, right? I mean, I feel bad for these people that paid over $2,000, but that's life. Right here, right, we're starting to flatline, right? There's still the same velocity of sales, but it's flatlining. That tells us the hype and excitement is over. And now ask yourself, right? So this is like, we have May, we have a little bit of June here. Ask yourself this question. If you buy Victor Wembanyama at its floor in May and June, only good things can happen, right? What can happen if Victor Wembanyama would cause his card value to go down? He could get injured, yes, and it happens once in a while, but there's only going to be hype and excitement. Even if the Spurs don't pick up anybody, right, there's still going to be hype and excitement just with the season rolling around the corner. Now, once again, the Victor Wembanyama train, I actually invested in them. So what I do is I buy higher end cards. So I see this with like Silver Prism PSA 10s, and I go and attack the higher end card market, like reds and blues. So like I do it a little bit different, but this is a nice baseline to see just the player as a whole. And you know, you could go for higher end cards if you want as well. But you could see what happened. Well, it flatlined, and look what's happening here. We are starting to trend upwards, right? Let's look in the past 60 days and see what's happened. So right, look here, past 60 days here. Check out what is happening. Let's do the little handy dandy marker. 60 days here, right? We're starting to go up, right? We're starting to go up, and then it really started to pick up here in the past 30 days. It's even started to pick up more, and that card, if you bought it while it was flatlining at $800, well, look what it sells for now. Right here, the last sale's right around $1,000, right? Buy it for $800, sell it for $1,000. Just to give you an example from myself, if you guys have been watching my content, I bought a red Prism PSA 10 number to $299. I paid $2,500, or it could have been $2,600. One of the two, I forget. But now, one just sold for $3,200. It's not even been a month. I've made, what is that, like 25% of my money, right? And the way I was able to do that is by looking at the data. Okay, so this stuff is just like super vital, super important. Market Movers is a great app, and you can't really look at this data without an app like this. And I know what you're thinking to yourself, well, Eric, you're showing me these players, it's too late to buy them, right? Like Victor Wembanyama, I probably wouldn't buy him anymore because you want to buy it at the lowest point. You could buy it and make a little bit of money here, but I wouldn't, right? Let's make as much money as possible. So you're probably saying, you know, what good is this, right? I can't make any money. Well, here's a player that I think, this is not financial advice, I think is a good buy right now. So check this out. This is Eamon Thompson, who's in his second year. You can see the cards right down here. This is a Silver Prism PSA 10, and he plays for the Houston Rockets. Now, let's look. Well, this card, his Silver Prism PSA 10, when it first came out, was selling right around here. This is like $175, right? $175, okay? And now look what happens, right? It takes the nice dip that we talk about, right? It takes the nice dip, right? It's going down, 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 and then look, aha, it's flatlining. Do you see this? It's flatlining, and it's flatlining right around, what is that? Right around $100, right? So like, ask yourself this, Amen Thompson, Rockets, young, exciting team. You could buy this card right now for $100. I mean, you probably don't want to pay full price. You want to go and negotiate with people and try to get it for $85, $90 to give yourself some cushion, give yourself some margin. But ask yourself this, right? If you're watching this right now and it's July or August and, you know, it's basketball offseason, Amen Thompson is a young player for the Rockets. What could happen to him that would cause his value to go down, right? You could see we're essentially at the floor, right? It's not going to really continue going down. Not much can happen. And maybe, like, at the worst case scenario, maybe it goes down a little bit and you lose 5 to 10%. But what's the best case scenario? Well, the best case scenario is what I just showed you before with Keontae George and Victor Wembanyama, and these guys are up 20, 30%, right? Tell me another business on this planet you can make a passive 20, 30% just by looking at data, right? It'd probably be hard to do, right? If you went on Wall Street and told someone that you're making 20% on your money in 2 months, they'd think you're on drugs. And let's look at this real quick. Let's look at the past 30 days of Mr. Amen Thompson. So you can see here, we have the past 30 days, and look, it's exactly what I just said, right? It's basically a direct flat line, okay? And yeah, this is where you need a little bit of balls to buy something that hasn't went up in value. That's how to make money. You don't want to wait till it starts going up in value, because if you wait till it starts to go up in value, it's harder to negotiate with people because people are much more resistant to sell because they're like, oh, it's went up since last week. Well, it's just going to go up even more, right? This is when you need a set of balls and you need to be like, okay, like I believe in myself. I believe in the data. I believe in sports cards. Let's buy it here. And then hopefully something will happen where beep, it will go up in value. Hopefully this video made sense. Once again, not financial advice. This is just what I do that's helped me and hundreds and thousands of other people who I've taught this stuff to make consistent money with sports cards. There's all sorts of other strategies, but this data is very important. You could go do things like this, like buy Amen Thompson right now and buy raw cards and get them graded, right? And while they're sitting at the grading company, they'll appreciate, hopefully, right? 20, 30%. Then you're really making a lot of money. So hopefully this video made sense. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM, comment, wherever. Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you like these videos on my nice little smart board right here. And like I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And I'll see you in the next one.